Hi friends, I'm so happy to see you guys again. I have some really cool things planned for you today. Do you want to do some arts and crafts with me? Okay, I have a couple projects planned, but I'm going to start with the one that I'm really excited about. We're going to make a cactus. So first we're going to need a piece of paper and you're going to want to draw a cactus shape on it. I already drew mine, so I'm ready to cut it out now. So we're going to need some scissors and maybe some help from Mom, so we can carefully cut out our cactus. This cactus that I drew looks like a young or baby saguaro cactus. So that's the really tall ones with arms. But you can draw any kind of cactus that you like. I just thought that this one would be nice and easy to cut out and could be really fun for our project. Okay, my cactus is ready. Now we don't want to paint our side with the pencil lines because we don't want to see them, right? So we're going to flip it over so that we have a nice clean side to start with. For this one, it's going to be really cool because it's going to have the texture of the cactus on our paper. So we're going to use some Epsom salt, but regular salt might work too. I have not tried it yet. So I have some Epsom salt which we put in our baths. So I'm going to pour some out, but I got to break up the pieces. They're all stuck together, so I have to break them up so that they can mix with my paint. Take this big piece up, because that's not going to break up so easily. Okay, so I'm going to pour some into my cup. Okay, I poured some into my cup. Now we need to make it wet with a little bit of water, so I have some water with me. And I'm going to grab a paintbrush to mix, because after we put in our water, we're going to put in some paint. So I put in just a little bit to help it get wet. And it's really goopy, but I think that'll be okay. See, it's really goopy, but that should be fine. Now, what color are cactuses? Here's a hint. Green. Good job. So I have my light green paper, and let me grab some dark green paint so we can see it and hopefully it'll pop on our paper. Having trouble opening my container, but it's okay if you need help sometimes. So I'm going to put some paint in. Set my paint to the side. Now let's give it a good mix. I might need to add some more salt to it so we can keep our nice rough texture, because it feels really sandy when you're mixing it. Can you hear it? I'm going to add a little more Epsom salt in to see if I can make it a little bit rougher. Oh, that's much better. It's really rough and sandy. Let me show you guys. Can you see it on my paintbrush? So now we're going to paint our cactus. So you can do it any which way, but you can see your rough, sandy texture on your cactus. And it's going to be prickly when it dries, just like a cactus. Make sure you get your paint all over. I'm just going to pour a little bit on so I can make this go a little bit faster so it'll dry. if you're gonna pour your paint on and spread it out, you have to make sure you spread it out a lot so it'll dry fast. So we can do our next part for this. You can even use your fingers if you want to feel how grimy it is. Look at all of the prickles for my cactus, friends. Doesn't that look great? I can feel all of the sand on it when I pick up the paper. It's really heavy. We're gonna set it to the side so it can dry and work on our next project for now. This one's really cool and it has some cactuses in it too. This one's a little silly. We're gonna use some things from our house. So we're gonna need to grab some toilet paper rolls. And we're gonna keep our scissors out. We need glue for sure, some googly eyes for later, and a paper plate. That's a little silly, right? A paper plate. But we're gonna paint our plate to make it into a desert scene. And these toilet paper rolls are gonna turn into snakes. It sounds silly, but it's gonna be really fun. So let's start by painting our plate. I'm gonna grab my brown, yellow, and orange paint because we're going to want to have lots of colors for our sand. Okay, open them all up and grab some paintbrushes. Okay. So go ahead and put some paint all over, try to get into the ridges, just like that. Don't be afraid to mix your colors a little bit so it looks really sandy. That looks a lot like a desert, right guys? We want to keep going though and cover up our whole plate. Cover all over. As much as you can. What do you guys think? That looks just like a desert, right? All the different colors of our sand. We're gonna put that down to the side for now because now we need to get ready to cut our snakes so we can paint them. So we're gonna take our toilet paper rolls and you're gonna wanna ask Mommy to help you with this part because it's a little tricky. So we're going to want to cut our snakes out. So we're going to carefully cut around our roll to make a spiral. So nice and slowly cut your toilet paper to help keep our spiral shape for our snake. This part's really tricky. I'm having a little trouble. so I cut it out so it's flat now, and now I'm gonna cut some snakes. Here's a nice snake, and you can pull it and roll it back together so that it'll keep its shape. So it'll stand up really tall. I'm going to cut one more from this piece, and then we're going to cut out our next shape. Okay, this one's not as swirly, so I'm going to give it some help. So I'm going to wrap it around my finger and hold it tight for just a minute. Let's see if it'll coil up. See? It coiled up. Now it's standing tall like my other one. I have 2 snakes. Now I'm going to take another toilet paper roll and we're going to cut a cactus. This one, we're going to want to make it into a little rectangle. You're going to want to cut a U shape to make a cactus so it stands nice and tall. And you want to leave a little bit at the bottom so we have somewhere to attach it to our paper. Okay, I'm going to trim the top, and then we're going to cut off the back piece so you don't see it anymore. These are not the best scissors for this, friends. There we go. Okay, so I have my cactus and my 2 snakes. Now we get to paint them. What color should we paint? Do you think we should paint our cactus green again? I think so. We can use our paint from our other cactus craft. Ooh, it's still wet. It's a little flimsy, my paper. So we can use our Epsom salt paint to give our cactus a really cool look. Sorry, friends, Bo sees somebody he wants to play with outside the window. So he was just trying to tell them. Where I live, there's lots of other doggies that Bo likes to go play with. Okay, my cactus is ready to be set to the side so it can dry. Now let's paint our snakes. Do you think we should do silly colors or some fun colors? Some silly colors or some really good colors? We want to do one of each? So for these, most of our snakes that live in the desert blend in with their surroundings. And the ones that have bright, fun colors are actually dangerous. Their bright colors say, "Warning, stop, get away from me." And you want to do a little bit on both sides because they're going to stand up so you can see them on both sides. Hush, Bo. Not too much paint because we want them to dry fast so we can put our desert scene together. Okay. This one's ready. Now let's do a bright, fun colored one that maybe we wouldn't see in our desert. I'm gonna grab purple, my favorite color. I spilled a little bit, but it's okay, it washes off. And maybe let's do some red with our purple. And grab a few more paintbrushes. Let's give him some nice polka dots so he stands out bright. It's a little tricky not to get paint on my fingers because there's paint on both sides, but it's okay to get a little messy. Okay, so now our snakes are all done. Nice, fun, bright colors on them. And now we can put together our desert scene. So we can move our paints to the side. We're all done with them. We can start to put it together. So we're gonna glue on our cactus, and we can put some googly eyes on our snakes and make them look really silly. And you can put anything else that you want on the desert scene. So I have some pom-poms, I have some feathers, some really cool things so that we can make it really come alive. You can put rocks or sand on it too if you want. So we're gonna put some glue onto the bottom of my cactus. This is why we left that bottom ring, to make it easy and so that it would stand up nice and tall. So I'm gonna put him in there. Since it's almost dry, it just means I'll get a little messy if it's not dry right now. That looks pretty good. Let's give him some cactus friends with our pom-poms. So I'm gonna grab some green ones. And our glue again. And we're gonna put it right there to hide that bottom part so we don't see it anymore. Let's see, let's put a white one on there. Make it look really fun. It's almost like a flower. So my cactus is starting to look pretty cool, right friends? He matches very nicely in our desert scene. My snakes aren't dry yet, but if I very carefully glue them on, I think I can get them to stick. And this one's laying down flat a little more. He's not standing tall like the other one. But that's okay. I think he just needs a little help from some glue. I'm just tucking his edge in and pushing it together so that he can stand really tall. That's better. Now I can glue him to my desert scene. Let's put him right about here so he's close to my cactus. He's hiding, he's blending in with the desert. Uh-oh, it's having a little trouble sticking. There you go, he's hiding in my desert. Now we have our big, fun, bright colored snake to put on. So let's see. That looks like a good spot for him, right guys? Let's get some glue so he'll stick. Okay, Now carefully push him down so we don't get too much paint on our hands. He is ready to go. He's ready to strike and get you. Now you can add more to your desert scene or you can leave it just like this. I'm happy with it, so I'm going to be all done with that one. Let's go back to our big cactus. Our really cool cactus with all of our textures and spines. I think it needs some flowers. What do you guys think? You agree? Okay, we can use some really wacky things. We can use our pom-poms. I have some other really wacky things that we can use. I have some tissue paper. And I got some feathers. What do you think? Should we use it all? I think so too. So let's put 2 feathers on with our glue. Let's do a pink one. Hopefully it'll stick. Let's do a white one. Okay, my feathers are on to start our flower. Now let's put some tissue paper on. I have this nice dark pink that I want to use. Oh, it's coming up a little bit. My paint is still a bit wet, friends. But you guys might want to wait a little longer for it to dry. Let's put some tissue paper on. We can crumple it up a little bit to give it a really nice flowery look. Crumple it up. I have an orange piece. Wow, that's a really pretty flower. But I think we can do a little better. Let's add some pom-poms. Having a little trouble sticking. Let's add some more glue. Let's put a white one in there. Wow, look at my cactus and this pretty flower, friends. What do you guys think? Do you want to try this at home too? It was really fun. And when my cactus is all dry, it's going to have that nice sandy texture to it, just like a real cactus. I hope you guys try this. We'll see you soon. Shabbat Shalom, friends. Bye.